What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Good Old Wrasslin. I believe this is episode 8. I know, it's crazy. We're 8 episodes into a wrestling show where we just talk nothing but wrestling for about an hour, which is always nice. And today, we got a special guest with us today, as we have Shadow Hunter. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. How you been?
I've been doing all right. Kind of tired, but what are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a pretty big show today. We're gonna be talking about Fastlane. We're gonna talk about the news about Andrade. We're gonna talk a little bit about the WrestleMania and NXT Takeover builds, and we're also gonna be talking about that exploding ring. That's
That's what you want to
always
call it.
Yeah, that disaster. But before we begin, Shadowhunter, where can they find you at?
Well, you can find me on my YouTube channel at Shadow Hunter, where I post a variety of things that I enjoy, like Marvel, Star Wars, wrestling, boxing, film stuff. It's about as random as me, which is what I wanted it to be. So yeah, um, I started up a new series, Universe Mode, and I also started up the Chase, which me and Chris have been working on getting a new episode out maybe early April. So that'll be a good time. Find me on Twitter at ShadowHunter419. Um, it's just anything and everything on there. So take a look and just feel happy that you're not me.
Damn, that was pretty good stuff. Arrow, Oliver Queen, what's going on, my friend? Great to see you. Like I said, I have a YouTube channel right now. I'm just trying to get up to 150. I do a bunch of stuff. You can find me everywhere. Shadow Eye on Sundays. You can find me on Splash Talk Saturdays. You can find me on Sauerkraut's channel on Saturday for Animation Takeover. You can find actually on Shadow Hunter's channel. We are competing against one another for draft picks.
Yep.
So that's going to be a fun
Yeah.
stream, which I kind of have some ideas about tomorrow, but we'll go over it tomorrow when we go over it. You can find me on the Real Review 3000's channel for the weekly wrap up. JJ, aka Sith Lord 3827's channel for randomness at its finest. You can find me sometimes on 32 Flavors and Nick Weiser. You can find me sometimes at Big Ford Entertainment's channel. You can basically find me everywhere, guys. So please go check them out. Go check out Shadowhunter. Go check all the people I just they're all in the description. And Deshaun should be here. I think he'll be coming soon. I think. Oh, and Tuesday I'm doing another episode of Austin Nader and Angry Care Bears and Jerry FTW and Jonathan Talks. I'm gonna find I'm finding a name for that, but we're just gonna talk about Snyder Cut and the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And you could also find me on Sunday talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier over on Comic Chat, Danny Graham's channel for the Falcon Winter Soldier Roundtable. So go check me out there. And yeah, a lot of stuff happening. So let's start off with the first topic for today. And that's the main topic is our Fastlane predictions. Now, I'm not doing a watch party for this one because why would I do a watch party for this? I mean, this show is... I kind of have a fear that this show is not going to go well.
I have a feeling that nothing will change.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of me as well. This show actually, I don't know if it's just me, but it does feel rushed.
Yeah.
It feels kind of half-assed.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just because they're saving it for Mania, aren't they?
Yeah. And all the major shit's been happening on Raw and SmackDown. So it's at that point, there is no pay-per-view.
Yeah. It's just like a super Raw or something.
Pretty much. But what would you expect? It's Fastlane.
Yeah.
Fastlane's always been garbage, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And as of this stream, there's only 5 matches announced.
Jesus.
Is this show going to end at like 9 o'clock? Like, how are they going to drag this out?
How are they going to make like 3 more matches tonight?
Yeah, they probably will make more matches on Smackdown, but even then, that's ridiculous. Like, that's still like 5 matches right out of the get go.
Yeah.
That's just what like
Paul.
they don't even have a WWE Championship match on the card.
I mean, to be fair, they're just saving Lashley, aren't they, at that point?
Yeah.
It's not necessary for him to compete in that because we already have Roman Reigns on the card. And I feel like anything that Bobby Lashley will do will just be outshined by Roman at that point, and I don't think they want to do that.
Probably. But so we're gonna get into we're gonna predict the 5 matches that are already announced, and we'll probably predict what's actually gonna be confirmed for Fastlane or so. So let's start off with the match that no one I don't think is gonna really care about, and that's the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, the champions, versus the SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, who, fun fact, will be facing each other at WrestleMania. Yeah, I'm going with Shayna and Nia Jax for this match. I mean, I don't even know what the build is for this match, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Sasha and Bianca because I feel like there's been this scenario before with John Cena and Shawn Michaels, and I feel like they're gonna do it again. Where it's just an unlikely duo that would win, and then they'll probably lose it 2 weeks later, where Bianca would betray Sasha or something.
Maybe, but the build I don't know. Like, even then, I'm not very excited for this Bianca Belair Sasha Banks match because like this build has been not that good.
Yeah.
You sprinkle some Reginald in there and it's bad.
Yeah.
Oh god. I mean, the match itself will probably be okay. Like, their match at Elimination Chamber was fine, but it wasn't anything special, and I'm not expecting anything special here. I think Reynolds is going to do something to get involved. It's possible. I could see that being the case, but I really hope because even though I'm not a huge fan of Nia Jax, I think Shayna Baszler is really good, and I do feel really bad for her. The fact that she's in this situation, like last year, she was actually competing for the Raw Women's title, and now we're like in 2021, and she's the Women's Tag Team Champions with Nia Jax.
Yeah, like the most irrelevant title that you could hold.
Exactly. What's up, Kavari? Like, the women's tag titles are just dead.
Yeah.
Like, they've been dead from the start.
Yeah, it's just giving them to 2 random women that you don't have plans for.
Oh, and NXT is doing the same thing, which we might get into a little bit later with those titles. But as far as the match is concerned, I don't know. Like, that's one of those things where it's like you could go either way, and I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you had Asuka and Charlotte win the belts, and then Shayna and Nia won it back. So I don't know how they're going to go about it. Personally, I don't really care. I think these titles are dead. No one really cares about these titles anymore. So it's like, kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, who the hell do you have now to really do anything with?
See, so they're just breaking up all the tag teams.
Yeah, because WWE loves to break up their female tag teams.
WWE just don't like the tag teams in general.
Oh my god. And even the tag titles are dead. From what I've just seen, the tag titles are not even on the show. The male's tag titles aren't even on the show. What the hell?
What, both? Raw and SmackDown?
And you know how bad the tag division is when the New Day are still your tag team champions. Emphasis. Oh, well, actually, no. they're not still the tag team champions. They're the new tag team champions because they defeated the Hurt Business, which pissed me off this Monday.
Yeah, that was a bad move.
That was stupid. So
Yeah.
this division's dead. Oh, and by the way, when we talk about WrestleMania, there's a tag team title match that makes no sense, but we'll get into that when we get into that because
no.
it's not good.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as who wins, I just don't care. Realistically, I would probably have Nia. Oh well, actually, Sasha Bianca would make sense, but at this point,
yeah, because why would you have the women's main event lose?
that is true to Nia My Whole Jax. So yeah, I personally I would just go with them, even though I think they might retain. But like I said, it's gonna be a whatever match.
Yeah, either way, no one will care.
Exactly, because basically there should be a new quote: "If it's the women's tag team championships, we don't care."
Just go to the toilet.
Exactly. I use those belts as toilet paper. Well, actually, I use all the tag titles as toilet paper.
They just don't look nice.
No, they don't. Like it's those belts gotta. You could literally get rid of those belts tomorrow and no one would care.
No one would notice.
Exactly. You could get rid of tag teams in general and nobody would notice.
On
That's how
AEW
bad it
might.
is. AEW might, but even then, like WWE's tag division need to be fixed ASAP.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right, second match we're going to talk about. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. Basically, the story here is Sheamus turned on Drew McIntyre. Then there was an Elimination Chamber match because Sheamus was like, I want a singles match for the title. And Shane McMahon's like, no, I'm not giving you a title match. So then freaking Sheamus is upset. Sheamus doesn't win the match. You know, Drew loses the title. And then Miz is the champion. Bobby Lashley's now the champion. And then their fight, like Sheamus and Drew had a couple matches, and now they're fighting again.
Yeah.
I think I got the gist here.
Yep. Pretty much.
Well, as far as the match goes, I think the match will be good. Yeah. I hope.
They have pretty good in-ring chemistry, which I've noticed last couple of weeks.
They do. So I hope this match is good, but this is a match that definitely needs a stipulation to it because we've already seen this match twice. In the second match, we got a no DQ match. Like, maybe for this one, they could have it maybe be, I don't know, like a false count anywhere match or a last man standing match. Like, I know that's kind of lazy to do a last man standing match, but in this scenario, it would probably work.
It makes sense because two powerhouses trying to beat the living shit out of each other.
Yeah, exactly. And when we talk about WrestleMania, I'm going to explain why I'm making this prediction, but I'm going to say Drew McIntyre is going to win because Sheamus has not won any match in the last few weeks, and also they're going to make Drew look strong for WrestleMania.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for Drew to lose to Sheamus.
The Sheamus of all people.
Yeah. To be fair, Sheamus is doing some pretty good stuff at the moment. Like, his character's being good, but just WWE won't push it. So,
but let's be real here. Does WWE really know what they're doing?
No. I mean, if you look at the people that are around Vince, like CM Punk said a couple of years ago, they're just nonsensical yes men.
Exactly. And even then, like, I feel really bad for Sheamus because I feel like this should be the WWE title feud.
They should have just had the one-on-one match Elimination Chamber.
Exactly.
Like,
and then,
just
I mean, you could even do I wouldn't mind the chamber match, but I would have had Sheamus win, and then Drew screw Sheamus, so then the Miz wins. Actually, no, because Bobby Lashley's still got to win. Well, you could figure that out somehow, but But then that would make this match make sense.
Yeah.
But the fact that, because to me, and I love Bobby Lashley, and I think to me, they should have had Sheamus and Drew for the title first.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just WWE don't think Sheamus is a big star like Seth Rollins or something.
No. Like, I don't really think Sheamus is a huge star, but he's a multiple-time world champion.
Yeah, he has the draw that you need. I mean, it's Scotland versus Ireland, for crying out loud. You're going to get the UK audience in there if you push it hard enough.
Like,
Because, yeah, makes sense.
and the thing is, it's like, the problem is with Sheamus is, like, they don't know how to handle him.
Yeah.
And this is, like, going back to 2015, where when he turned heel, like, it was 50-50 booking. And then when he won the title, he only held it for a month.
Yeah. It's just, Sheamus, to me, has always been a transitional person. Like, if you want to put someone over, put them with Sheamus.
Exactly. Like, he's like a Dolph Ziggler type of wrestler where, you know, you got to put someone over, put him with Dolph Ziggler, or put him with Sheamus. And that's
Exactly.
And it's unfortunate because I think, like, when you're looking back in 2014, and I'm going to use Dolph as an example, Dolph was, like, at his hottest. And now look at where he is now.
Yeah, especially 2014 Survivor Series, Ziggler was on his fucking peak.
Exactly.
But they did nothing with him except put him in tag team matches with John Cena and then get him fired.
And then, like, what? And I'll even say, like, when the brand split actually happened, Dolph was the only person who really benefited from it to an extent because he had multiple WWE title matches. He won the IC title a few times. You know, he won a couple tag titles. He won the US title. So it's not like Dolph has done nothing. But now, like, if someone would say, "Oh, should they put the world title on Dolph?" I'd say no.
Yeah, he's just lost
Too
that
late.
star power.
Yeah,
because they've made him lose to people like Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura. They've looked at where they are in the ladder. It's just nowhere fucking near where they wanted him to be.
exactly. Because Dolph at this point is just nothing.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Baron Corbin could be a really good fucking top heel. But besides that, it's just they waste talent with people like Sheamus and Ziggler just so they think they can push them a bit further. But 3 weeks later, they're just going to put them in a match with fucking Riddick Moss or something and make them lose.
Like, they're basically like the first feud type of wrestler where someone gets called up and it's like, all right, well, we need someone for them to face. Dolph, Sheamus, you guys want something to do? Yeah, all right, go put this guy over. Like, that's really who they are now.
Yeah. I guarantee you, when Tommaso Ciampa comes up to the main roster, it'll be him versus Sheamus.
Oh, probably. But even then, I don't want Tommaso Ciampa to be called up because we all know how that's going to turn out.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing something with Thatcher at least. I rate Ciampa so highly. Like, I don't think he should be in the tag division. I think he should be like facing Finn Balor. But
I think he is going to have a singles program at Takeover, but again, like, we'll talk about that when we get to NXT Takeover.
Yeah.
All right, so next match on our list, we actually have an intergender match, meaning it's a female versus a male. It's Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. The build is Randy Orton lit the Fiend on fire, turning him to ash. Alexa Bliss has been like, I hate you, I'm going to get my revenge. She poured gasoline all over herself, lit Randy's face on, or she threw a fireball at Randy Orton's face, which miraculously healed in 2 weeks. She pulled a Papa Shango on him, and he started puking up black ooze. And
2 weeks in a row.
For I think it was like 3 weeks because it was like, oh, actually, it may have been 2 weeks. I don't know. This build is confusing.
Yeah, he did one during an interview. He did one during looking at himself laughing, and I think he did one during a match.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like during his match with AJ Styles, I believe.
Yeah.
As far as a build, I think this build is now starting to drag on a little bit.
Yeah.
Meaning, I understand they're trying to wait till WrestleMania to show the Fiend, but at this point, you don't have to show the Fiend a whole lot heading into WrestleMania. You could show him once.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna make Alexa win, but she won't do it just out of pure skill. The Fiend's gonna return, kick the shit out of Randy Orton. It's just like a fucking plan. They're not actually going to wrestle.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just going
no.
to be the Fiend returning and beating the living shit out of Orton. And then they'll go back to their hump cave, wherever the fuck they go to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Alexa Bliss, and again, I'm gonna agree with you. I really hope WWE doesn't do something stupid where it's like, oh, we're not actually gonna bring the Fiend back. We're actually gonna have Alexa Bliss beat Randy Orton because we want her to win. Like, if
Yeah,
that's actually the case, I really hope that doesn't happen.
yeah,
As far as the Fiend is concerned, I don't know if he's necessarily going to do a lot. Like, if, at max, he'll probably just do a Sister Abigail and like a Mandible Claw.
yeah.
I don't know if he'll. I think he will definitely look different. I
Yeah.
mean, he has to. Like, they can't just like bring
Obviously.
him back and have him look the same.
No, they can't. I mean, they've been hyping it up since TLC.
Exactly, and then
So,
like even if it's like something like minor, like the mask is just a little bit charred up, or just giving him like a new look in general. Like I would be okay even with just him looking a little bit charred up,
yeah.
like meaning
I mean,
like
yeah, that makes sense. Like, one of the ideas I have is like having the mask kind of cut off, so you can just see like the right side of his face, but cover it up just from the eye down. So you
yeah,
can see that one of his eyes is like pure red and shit. You can see his other eye is just normal coloured.
yeah,
So
and then
like
like
two faces, something like that.
you can
Yeah.
show the Fiend once, and then for the rest of the build going into WrestleMania, you can just show like the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. He's just like,
Yeah.
hey guys, I'm Bray Wyatt. Hey Randy, I'm gonna kill you, and then you can do the Firefly Funhouse match, and then you can do whatever the hell you want with
Yeah.
the Fiend afterwards, which I don't really know what you would do with him after this. I would guess you put him in a feud with Drew if that's what
No,
they're going for, but
I don't think so. I don't think the Fiend will go for a major title again. They ruined it, so there's no point. But who else did Bray Wyatt face in his past? You gotta think here. Undertaker, he's retired.
Kane, but he's being a mayor, and also he
Yeah.
kind of got his revenge already.
Yeah.
Uh, the only person I could think of is Roman Reigns, but they just drafted Bray to Raw. So unless they draft Roman to Raw, which I hope that's not the
Mm,
case, because
good draw.
Raw's Raw's 3 hours long and it's unwatchable. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there for 3 hours and watch Raw because,
Just to see Roman Reigns say something for 5 minutes.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it would be worth the 5 minutes, but
Obviously, but you know what I'm trying to say.
exactly.
Yeah.
And what's
That's
up, Kev? What's going on?
yeah. That's why I only watch SmackDown. I just watch the highlights of Raw on YouTube.
Exactly, that's what I do. Kevin's like, are you going to be watching Fastlane live? I'm not doing a watch party for it, but I am going to watch it live. And fun fact, this is actually the last pay-per-view on the WWE Network before it goes to Peacock.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in the US, in the UK, it's on Sky Sports.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
But overall, though, I'm somewhat interested in how this Randy Orton Alexa Bliss match is going to go. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of one of the matches I'm excited for, but at the same time, the build has
Yeah.
just not been great.
And
So,
also, the problem with the feud is where do you go from there?
exactly. I It's like, and even with the Fiend, where do you go with him?
Yeah. Because, like, the purpose of the feed is to correct the wrongdoings of Bray Wyatt. And besides from Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose, that's it. Dean's John Moxley in AEW doing a fucking fantastic job. Reigns is on SmackDown, or unless it's a draft after Mania, which I hope there is, that'll make it very interesting. Not
I'm
just
just
the Stephanie McMahon coming out and saying the names like an actual draft.
because let's see here. He got his revenge on John Cena. He got his revenge on Kane. He got his revenge on. Well, technically, he hasn't got his revenge on Randy yet, but he's going to. He
Or
got it on
Goldberg.
Goldberg. That's true too.
But
Uh,
I don't think we want to see Goldberg anytime soon, do we?
no. Keep him the fuck away.
I mean, I'd like to see him pick up with The Fiend versus Brock Lesnar, maybe from Royal Rumble 2016, and pick that up. But Brock isn't on a contract at the moment, so.
No, he's not. So,
But he's always open to returning.
yeah. Personally, I would have just had Brock face Bobby for the title.
Nah. I would have saved that for later. It's not just Mania. I would have saved it for next year's Mania.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. Because, granted,
Or you could
Lesnar
even do a triple threat at Mania with Brock, Drew, and Bobby. That would have been to me is like star power match.
That would be sick, but I understand Lesnar could just get into a rivalry real quick and it won't matter because it's just Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, exactly.
But the same thing still applies. You need to have the basis of the rivalry. Yeah, Drew beat Lesnar, so he wants his revenge. Bobby wants the match against Lesnar because he wants to prove who is the true powerhouse in WWE. But Lesnar doesn't need the match.
No, he doesn't.
That's where you got to think. Who would need that match? Lesnar wouldn't. So why would he go with it? Why would he return for that? Maybe to get his revenge on McIntyre? That would make sense because, he lost to him. Look at the last guy he lost to, Goldberg. He wanted him back, got him back, beat the shit out of him, and he fucked up with Universal Championship for 500 days. You could do that with Brock and Drew, maybe, after, but with Lashley, there's no real purpose except Lashley wants Lesnar. So, why would Lesnar want to come back for someone who he doesn't really want to do anything with? And also, he doesn't have Paul Heyman with him, which that would be an issue.
Yeah, it would be. Kevin wants to know, how do you feel about WWE going to Peacock?
I don't care.
Yeah, personally, I don't really care, but it just sucks that the WWE Network should now be considered a failure due to the fact that it's technically folding. So,
yeah. Oh well.
And Kevin's like, do you think Daniel Bryan will face Roman and Edge at WrestleMania? We will get to that when we talk about WrestleMania, and
I'll save it for later.
Yeah, so we'll save that for later.
Yeah. Anyways.
But next, we got the Intercontinental Championship match because, God forbid, we need a title match on this card besides the pointless women's tag titles. Big E versus Black Panther. I'm sorry, Apollo Crews. But I swear to God, he is.
Yeah. The thing is, though, his Nigerian accent is a bit weird. He kind of dips in and out of it.
Yeah.
It's either one or the fucking other, mate. And also, it would have been a good thing, his Nigerian prince thing, but it just came out of nowhere. It doesn't make sense. He's like, my ancestors gave me this spade. Now I must use it to kill Big E. It doesn't make fucking sense.
No, it doesn't. But I made that Black Panther joke because it's he kind of is like Black Panther.
Yeah, except he just isn't as cool as Black Panther.
Oh, he's definitely not as cool as Black Panther, but it's I just draw comparisons. He has the accent, now he's got a spear, obviously. And I'm like, Black damn. Panther, I was like, who is this guy? Black Panther?
I see what I mean. It's just, I didn't really see the point in them doing it just like that. It just didn't make sense.
No. So basically the build is Apollo Crews turned heel. Now he's going back to his roots, and he's like, all right, I'm going to become the Intercontinental Champion. And, Crews is being a dick. He's got a spear now, and he's got new tights because when you're a heel, you got to wear tights. You don't wear the trunks anymore.
At least Bobby Lashley looks cool in them.
Oh, yeah. He looks way better in the tights than he does in the trunks.
Yeah.
But, Aleister Black went to the tights, and, well, where is he
Yeah.
now? In whole honesty, that's just depressing. I'm sorry. I tear just fell out of my eye just talking about Aleister Black.
Yeah, like, he's so underused. Like, him, we'll talk about more of Andrade later, but, like, him, Andrade, Ricochet. Yeah, whilst Ricochet isn't the perfect Mr. McMahon person that he wants, it's just sad because Andrade and Aleister are so fucking good in the ring. Like, on my universe mode, Aleister Black is his Continental Champion, and Andrade was a WWE Champion. We all know what happened there. Like, just, if you use them right, it's just easier. Like, instead of just fucking up their, like, I don't know, 15 years of work.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm actually going to say this now. You could even say Apollo Crews was one of them. A couple back before
Yeah,
2020. Like,
but now you have Paul Heyman on SmackDown, and he's pretty much ruined the whole damn show. And he's sorted now.
and he's giving Apollo a character, which I actually appreciate because this is kind of like a nice change of pace. And then, personally, as far as who's going to win, that's hard because on the one hand, Apollo turned heel, so it would make sense to put the title on him. But on the other hand, I think they're still a little bit high on Big E, so I don't think
Big E's a safe option.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you want to go risky with Apollo Crews, you can't slow his momentum after he's gone heel, because that'll just ruin the character for like months.
Exactly. Like, look at Aleister Black. He turned heel, and then he was looked like a little bitch. So I'm like, the only way you can really protect him is like by a disqualification or a count out.
Yeah, like Apollo Crews just goes fucking mad and just beats the shit out of him. Yeah.
Kavari wants to know: are you a fan of the WWE movies they made back in the days?
Nope.
I will be honest with you. I did like The Condemned.
No, just
like the only two movies I liked were the first Marine movie and The Condemned. Otherwise, everything else is trash.
No, I swear I found out movies. No, I mean I like the Scooby Doo movies.
The Scooby Doo movies, they're classic.
Yeah, the Scooby Doo WrestleMania movies are decent.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're just there.
Yeah, but I will say though, when you saw like John Cena it was just so interesting to see them all like animated and like doing all like this crazy stuff, and I was like, shit, this is like interesting.
Yeah.
So as far as like I personally, if I have my way, I actually would just have Apollo Crews win because if you really want to do it, you can put the belt back on Big E at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I would have Apollo Crews win, but not cleanly.
Yeah, like I would say have Apollo Crews maybe cheat, or if you need Apollo Crews to not win the title, have him win by DQ or have him lose by disqualification.
You know what's going to happen? Just Apollo's going to push Big E to ref. Big E's going to turn around, fucking low blow, finisher, 1, 2, 3.
Or, this could be a creative finisher, is maybe have Apollo stab Big E with the spear.
Yeah, that's definitely PG friendly.
Well, I mean, they had Randy Orton light the Fiend on fire, so I mean, they'll do whatever.
I don't feel like they'd stab Big E with a spear, because, I mean, you just kill it off someone at that point.
That's true. But maybe they'll use a spear at some point.
It'd be creative, yeah. I feel like they just get him to whack the spear over Big E.
Yeah, that's probably what they would do.
Yeah.
Kevin wants to know, how do you like about the new Otis? Man, fuck Otis.
Yeah, it's just bland, dry, and cringy.
Like he's a heel. Like, you know what's funny? They broke up like Heavy Machinery and like they turned Tucker heel. He's doing nothing, but yet they turned Otis heel, and yet he's on TV still.
Why would you have Otis win Money in the Bank where you could have just had the Miz win it in the first place?
Exactly. Like, and even then, Miz did nothing. I'm just,
just have Otis fucking run off into the sunset with Mandy. And now what's he got? No briefcase, no lass. He's got a fucking sausage party in his van.
He's like freaking partners with Chad Gable, and
at least he's getting some TV time, unlike some people. Alistair Black. But you know what I mean? Like,
bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I guess he's coming on. Oh, Andrade! Oh God, excuse me. Oh.
Yeah.
But like that, oh God, I don't even know how Otis still gets on TV yet. Freaking Andrade and Aleister Black are like still in catering.
The only reason that people are off TV is because Lita Vega.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
But why? Yeah.
That's a good question. We'll never know the real answer.
Yeah.
Kari's like, is John Cena officially retired from wrestling and making movies now?
No.
He's not. No, he's not officially retired. I think he said he's gonna wait until like the COVID stuff blows over.
Yeah. And he can't come to Mania because if he does, everyone in the film crew would have to quarantine for 2 weeks, which would delay the film even more. So it makes more sense for him to say the film business when COVID's over, when everyone's back in arena, have John Cena return, have him face, I don't know, someone new, not Randy Orton for the 6,000th time. Yeah, just Cena's a good way to build up crowds again, and that could be a good way to encourage people to come back to Raw and SmackDown after COVID.
Yeah,
to bring John Cena in.
That is a good thing to do. I would actually agree with that. And the last match that's actually confirmed for the show, yes, 5 matches. This show has 5 matches. How? Like, I'm sorry. Like, is this show gonna be like 2 hours?
It's gonna be shorter than fucking Raw.
Exactly. Yeah. What is this?
I feel like we know the answer to this one. It just depends on how the match will end.
Yes, because the last match that we're talking about is the only match that I care about, and is the Universal Championship match. Because, I guess I care about like a couple of the other matches, but this is the match that I'm actually excited for.
Yeah.
The Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, head of the table. You know, he eats food at the head of the table. You know, Jay's just sitting there, just being like, "Hey, Roman, can I have some food?" Like, no, and then Roman like slaps his hand away. He goes, "No, no."
He's like, "I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you!"
Like Roman just slaps Jay's hand away. He's like, "Can I have some?" No. He's like,
"No." Mommy.
And then he's like, "Paul, can you hear me?" He's like, Roman's like, "Paul, don't hand him anything." But no.
Hand him the gravy.
It's like Roman just gonna give like Jay like an ice cube.
Yeah, is that cold?
Exactly.
I think my heart is.
It's cold. Man's cold. And accompanied by his legal counsel, Paul Heyman, versus Daniel Bryan. And basically, there's going to be a special guest enforcer, either Edge or Jey Uso, more than likely Edge.
Yeah.
Basically, the backstory to this match is Daniel Bryan won the chamber match at the Elimination Chamber. Roman would then kick the shit out of him. And then Daniel Bryan's like, "I want a rematch." And then Roman's like, "No, I'm not giving you a rematch."
No.
And then Adam Pearce is like,
Yes.
I got a good idea for this. I think I'm gonna have you versus Jey Uso tonight for the title. If you, Daniel Bryan, win, you get a match against Roman Reigns at Fastlane. And of course, it ends in a double count out. And Adam Pearce is like, you know what? I think we're gonna have a steel cage match. And then Daniel Bryan wins the steel cage match, leading into. And then Daniel Bryan's being an asshole. He's like, I should main event WrestleMania because I wrestle more than Roman Reigns and Edge. And then Roman's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Roman's like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. We obviously know who's going to win this match.
Yeah, like, is there really any question who's gonna? It's gonna be Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it just depends on how. Because if Edge is special enforcer, I feel like some bullshit will go on. Like somehow Jay will get into the building. But if Jay's a special enforcer, I feel like Jay will knock out the ref and then they'll just beat the shit out of Brian and win.
Yeah, I think it's regardless of what happens, I think there's gonna be a screwy finish.
Yeah.
I think Edge. I think what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna just make this assumption. So Jay's gonna get involved. Edge is gonna try and spear somebody. He's gonna accidentally spear Brian. Roman's gonna take out Edge, and then he's going to like put in the guillotine, or he's gonna spear Daniel Bryan, and then Roman's gonna retain.
To be fair, I do like the guillotine that Roman's putting on nowadays.
Oh
Looks
yeah. Look,
good.
it looks amazing. Everything Roman has done since he's became the tribal chief has been amazing.
Yeah, like he is the star that WWE wanted him to be back in 2016.
If we got this Roman in 2016, I would have never complained.
No, I feel like this was the perfect time to do it because you have Paul Heyman, who isn't working with anyone. You have Roman, who's going to come back from COVID. Not, he didn't have COVID, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And he'll return this big fashion, just new ego, new motto, just new everything. And it's just all there on the table. The head of the table, if you know what I'm saying. It's all just there, all the pieces matching together. You have
Absolutely
him, the Universal title, the Tribal Chief, Paul Heyman, and then you have his family just watching over there. And we see Jey Uso pop his ass over here and get his ass beat twice. And then he adds that to his collection. He's gonna add The Rock to his resume because he's surely got to fight The Rock if he's gonna make his family fall in line. Surely, because The Rock has more money than Roman and actually fights more than Roman will want to beat the shit out of The Rock and prove he is the true family head at table instead of Dwayne over there. But yeah, I don't see Roman losing until he faces The Rock.
Honestly, I actually have a theory about how his title reign is going to end, and we'll talk about that when we talk about WrestleMania and stuff. Well, I guess we could talk about it now. I have a theory they're going to try and pull something, and they're going to put Daniel Bryan in that match.
I won't mind that.
I wouldn't mind it either, but I feel like Roman and Edge is already a money match that they don't need to involve Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And if Daniel Bryan's in the match, I feel like Roman's still going to drop the title to Edge, and they're just going to have Edge pin Daniel Bryan.
I feel like Edge is going to... Actually, I hope Edge will bring back the world title and bin the Universal title, but it's not going to happen.
No, it won't.
But it would be a cool idea. Because, I mean, like, it's a title he never lost.
Yeah.
The world title. The Universal title, not so much. Maybe a cool idea. Reigns versus Edge. I feel like Reigns would still win that, but I feel like that wouldn't be the end of it. I feel like Edge would go off like a month or two. He'd come back, and then they'd have a fight at SummerSlam where Reigns would actually kayfabe injure Edge. Edge would be out for a few months, and Edge would return and do something with someone else. Or maybe Edge will go down to NXT. I mean, that would be cool. I'd like to see him face Finn Balor or something.
Yeah. Also, welcome to Sean.
Hey y'all, how you doing?
Doing good. We actually just went through the Fastlane card, and you know what? I'm gonna quickly just run down the card, and you can give me your predictions for it, if that's all right.
Yeah, they're okay.
All right, so the first match, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for the Women's Tag Team Championships.
Don't really care about that match, kind of, but I got Nia Jax and Shayna win the match. If you go for the storyline, I think Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair should win, but I think Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler gonna win though. I got Nia Jax, Shayna.
Okay.
All right. Next match: Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus.
There would be a good match. Sheamus have been doing good lately in WWE Drew McIntyre, but I think Drew McIntyre gonna win because he got that big match at WrestleMania against Bobby Nash for the WWE Championship, so it wouldn't make sense. Drew McIntyre winning match. You have Bobby Nash call him a match, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So I got Drew McIntyre winning the match.
All right. Next up, Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton.
Um, I I think they might go in at the qualification because I think they gonna bring the Fiend back in the match. So I don't think nobody gonna win the match.
All right. Next up, Alexa Bliss versus Big E versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship.
Paul Kruger telling him he been doing a great job with his heel work, but I think that Big E gonna win.
Alrighty, and the last match, Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship.
I got Roman Reigns. I got Roman Reigns winning the match because I don't see Roman Reigns losing the title yet until WrestleMania, or he might hold the title very, very long. But I don't think Daniel Bryan gonna win. I got Roman Reigns winning the match.
All right.
I'll be right back.
Alrighty, no problem. So now let's get into our next topic, and that is the WrestleMania and NXT TakeOver builds continue, and we'll kind of give our basically we do now know the NXT Championship match for NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, which is Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that match because in a way it makes sense.
Yeah. And I feel like next week they're going to announce Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole in the Extreme Rules match or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. And then I think they're going to do something with the Cruiserweight title, and they're going to have Escobar versus Devlin. And I predict it's going to be a ladder match where they're going to unify the interim Cruiserweight title and the actual Cruiserweight title.
Yeah. And also, you got Tommaso Ciampa and Thatcher and having their own thing with Imperium.
I would just have a one-on-one match between Walter and Ciampa.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, Walter is like a bit underrated in my opinion. He definitely isn't used to his full capacity. I feel like if they actually push Walter, he would be Lars Sullivan done right.
Yeah. Like Walter is like already a dominant like champion to begin with. Like, he's been champion for like 700 days.
Yeah, but that's just because there's no one else really on the NXT UK roster. And I mean, it's pretty coincidental that the person who's holding the UK title is Austrian.
Yeah, it's crazy. But even if like Ciampa versus Walter happens for the UK title, I think Walter's gonna win.
Yeah, I don't feel like they'd put the UK title on line though, because Ciampa isn't UK. Would make sense. Walter's character is UK, which is why it makes a bit more sense.
I mean, but it could also lead into like maybe like not a War Games match, but it could lead into like a tag match, like a multi-man tag match.
Yeah.
I actually have a prediction for the North American title. I think it's gonna be Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. I've been building it for weeks now. I mean,
then they're gonna do the tag title match, which I believe it'll be Birch and Lorcan versus the guys who won the MSK. Yeah, MSK. That's as far as I know right now. Like, there probably will be more matches because they're splitting it up into 2 days, so they're gonna find something to do. Maybe they'll have like a women's tag title match.
Yeah, I feel like Raquel Gonzalez Ain't she like been challenged by Io Shirai or something though?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I just remembered they lost the tag titles. I'm stupid. Lost them to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Which why?
Yeah, that was stupid. Again, those belts are dead already on
Yeah.
arrival because your first ever champion just lost the titles in the span of a
2
day.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like that's the same with the actual women's title, NXT women's title. They've just got Io Shirai on it because there's no one really there that could really match up to her star power at the moment, except for maybe Ember Moon.
Which, honestly, I would have rathered Ember Moon versus Io Shirai.
Yeah. Ember Moon is actually a really good wrestler. It's just she isn't the greatest on the mic. She's a bit bloated with it on the mic.
Yeah. But she's overall not bad. Like, I would say...
She's above average.
And she's already a former NXT Women's Champion. Like, that's a high marquee match.
Yeah.
But I just don't know where you could go with it.
Yeah. That's the problem with these storylines with wrestling. You just don't really know where you could go with it until it's just a random feud that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I think Paul Heyman said this best, but wrestling storylines don't work without continuity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as far as like other matches, there will be more matches more than likely. But as of right now, those are the matches I could think.
For NXT, yeah.
As far as WrestleMania is concerned, oh boy. All right, so this WrestleMania, I'm very concerned.
Why? Because they haven't revealed anything?
Because they basically have not really built much, and the things they've built doesn't make a lot of sense. So obviously I'm going to tell you guys the matches that have already been confirmed, like Roman Reigns versus Edge. That's going to be great.
Bianca Belair versus Sasha.
Yeah, Bianca versus Sasha, which I think the match itself will be good, but the build has been horrendous.
Yeah, it's just the opposite of John Cena versus CM Punk.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, which that kind of annoyed me because Drew's just like, hey, can I have a title match? Bobby's just like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it's to be fair to him, to prove that he is the true champion, he has to defeat the one that was the champion, not the one that he made the champion.
Yeah, that is true too. But it's like at the same time though, like you could have just had Sheamus and Drew McIntyre Fastlane just be for the number one contender spot.
Yeah, but you know what WWE's like, they don't like Sheamus.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you, Sheamus.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck you, Sheamus, fuck you, Andrade, and fuck you, Aleister Black.
I'll say this actually, I feel like the Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan match should have actually been Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. In my opinion.
Yeah, it should have been.
I'm back.
Right.
Welcome back to Sean.
Yeah. Cesaro needed that Elimination Chamber win more than Daniel Bryan did.
I mean, I understand because they're going to build up a feud between him and Seth Rollins.
Yeah. But the face, they're just going to have him lose to Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And if they have him win, it's not going to do much. It's just going to have him near the top of the mid card, like either going for the IC title or something. Which we don't want to see for IC title. He's too talented for the IC title. It doesn't make sense for him to have the IC title. I could go all day with this.
And also, Seth has already been the IC champion.
Yeah, I feel like Reigns versus Cesaro would have made more sense.
I agree with that.
I understand, yeah, big man versus small guy, technician versus powerhouse. But I mean, it would have been cool to see a bit where Reigns went for a Superman punch, but Cesaro just did a Swiss uppercut. I mean, that would have been cool, but I mean, we're not going to see that, are we?
Nah. Because they're also like, fuck you, Cesaro.
Yeah.
As far as everything else... Oh, and also the Raw Tag Team Championship. So, you know how, the Hurt Business were the champions and everyone's like, oh, this is going pretty good. And nope, the New Day like, no, we're going to be the champions again. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
They need to win them back because why Cedric and Sheldon will not have a purpose in the Hurt Business at that point. And they'll just be there as like insurance policy like Anderson and Gallows was.
Yeah, and that's what sucks is like I really like the idea of them holding all the titles.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
MVP
why
part.
I kind of wanted Matt Riddle to feud with MVP.
Yeah, but MVP's got a little limp.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Yeah. And it's like, and even with the US title, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with it.
Yeah. That title used to have so much prestige.
And you know what? The last time it was important was when Bobby Lashley was the champion.
To be honest, I don't really remember much of the Bobby Lashley title reign.
But it's definitely better than what they're doing right now.
Yeah. I've been trying to watch it back a bit, and so far it's just... At the start of it, it was a bit bland, but you can see throughout his progress because he's kind of getting more suited to it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's what Bobby Lashley needed, and that's why they didn't make him the WWE champion first off. If they gave him a mid-card title, he'd be more comfortable with it, and then he'd be able to actually push through and be a more natural top-tier champion.
And it's just like, and so here's the Raw Tag Team title match. So after the match, AJ Styles and Omos came out, and they were like, hey, we're going to have a huge match. And he's like, you know what? I got to say this. I have never held a tag title, so Omos gave me an idea. How about me and Omos versus the New Day for the Raw Tag titles? And I'm like,
no.
What? No, that doesn't work.
AJ should be fighting for a top tier title, not this.
I'm not gonna lie. The Raw Tag Team Championship are not important in WWE anymore.
The tag teams are not important in WWE anymore.
Except
for business.
Yeah.
And the Smackdown tag titles, forget about it. They're not even on the show half the time.
Wait a minute, who is the Smackdown Tag Team Champion?
Street Profits.
No, it's actually Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
Is it?
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't know, because even I didn't know.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's probably going to be the match going to WrestleMania. There's going to be like a multiple-man tag match of some sort, and I think it's going to be the SmackDown tag titles. It's going to be the Street Profits versus Roode and Ziggler versus Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus...
Yeah, Dominic needs to go to NXT.
Chad Gable.
Oh, God, Otis and Chad Gable. Yeah, watch Otis and Chad Gable win.
If they win, I will jump out of this window.
Oh, I'll do even better. I'll jump out of the stream.
Yeah, I don't. Otis and Chad Gable should not win any titles. They should just be there to put another tag team over. They deserve to have that.
Exactly.
They need to be glad they're on TV at all. Chad Gable by himself, yeah, he's decent. He can put on some good wrestling clinics. But with Otis, it's just...
Like he's a joke.
You'll be able to hear out of his mouth is, yeah.
And also, like, the only other match I know that they're doing is Fiend and Orton, which that's definite for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a Raw Women's title match, which, by the way, the Raw Women's title is another title that's irrelevant.
Yeah. I know Asuka's got hold of it, and I know Charlotte wants it, but I don't really care.
At this point, I would rather have anybody than Asuka. I'll take a Charlotte. I'll take a Charlotte.
Something new. I feel like someone like Liv Morgan or someone would do something good with it. If they brought back. She'd do something good with it. It's fresh, new. She had an interesting character before they binned her off.
Who? Liv Morgan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She has talent, but no one uses it.
I think Mandy Rose should have been a women's championship too.
Yeah. But to be fair, in my opinion, Mandy Rose isn't really a great wrestler. She's just really good on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, that's, to be fair, that's what Vince has been looking for a lot. I mean, people like John Cena and The Rock definitely wouldn't be as high profile as they are in WWE if they weren't good talkers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Vince has been looking for.
I guess like another match for me would be Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. The IC title, it's more than likely going to continue the Big E and Apollo Crews stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see that be anything but a normal match, like just a cool stipulation with it. I like buried alive in the Nigerian lands match or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like maybe another match they could do. I don't know if like this would really happen, but shit, what was I gonna say? They're gonna have to do like if they're not gonna do a multi-man IC title match, which I don't think they will.
It'd
I
be
don't
cool.
know. Yeah, but I don't know. Like,
I mean,
they're gonna do. I think they're gonna do a tag match where it's gonna be the Miz and Morrison versus Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I swear, if they screw up Damian Priest after Bad Bunny's gone, then fuck.
And
yeah, Damian Priest is talented. Like, he's
he is.
fucking phenomenal.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Damian Priest look like he could win the WWE Championship in the future.
Yeah, he has the look.
Yeah.
It's just up to management to use him correctly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have him face AJ Styles after Mania.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good one. Because AJ won't be doing much after Mania because it's just AJ Styles. They don't know what to do with him. Damian Priest will be on the up, so why not use AJ against Damian and then have them have a couple of good matches leading up to Money in the Bank?
Oh, the thing that AJ Styles will be doing is he'll actually be tag champion more than likely, and then he'll just drop it back to the New Day.
Oh, I hope he don't become a tag champ because AJ deserves much better.
Yeah.
Like, we've all seen how talented AJ can be in the ring. I mean, just look at his matches with John Cena. You can see how fucking talented the kid is.
He is really talented. He's actually one of my favorite wrestlers besides Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens' ring IQ is up there with some of the best.
He is.
Like, the way he can maneuver around the ring, at his size as well, is fucking brilliant.
Absolutely. I want to get into our third topic. This is another. Andrade asks for his release.
What?
I didn't see this one coming. Spoiler. Yeah, we sort of did.
Yeah.
Basically, some news sites reported that Andrade was basically asking for his release. He was unhappy backstage. He asked for his release, and Vince McMahon said, "No, you're not leaving, asshole."
Yeah,
And Andrade's like,
he knows he'll go to AEW.
"Yeah."
Yeah.
And now, so I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, but first I want to ask a question. Do you guys think that if Andrade asked for his release and just they accepted it, do you think more wrestlers who are basically in the same boat as Andrade are going to do the same thing?
Well, if you meet people at the same boat, if you meet people like Aleister Black, Ricochet, and stuff like that, then yes. Because, like, you gotta think the appeal of AEW, like a new place, start fresh with everything. Like, that's got to be in their minds, obviously. But the short answer is yeah.
Deshaun, what are your thoughts on it?
My thought on Andrade after he released.
Yeah.
I mean, he WWE has not been doing him that good lately. I don't know what the last time he won on TV. So, but I would definitely right now. I will go ahead and release the man because you're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing with him. He not on TV. He not getting screen time, anything like that. Yeah, I would definitely right now. I would release him, but WWE decline he release. But if I will draw it, I would be mad. But
Yeah.
But if you're trying to find like another way to leave WWE, maybe he contract be a buyer. I don't know. I don't know, but Andrade do get we need. He going to AEW. So just be
Yeah.
honest, he going to AEW
Or he'll go to Impact. We never
or
know.
Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm basically kind of with you guys. I'm kind of like I actually do understand why Andrade asked for his release because if you're not going to do anything with them, why would you stay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
just. Yeah.
well, the first thing Andrade should have said is like, "Hey, can I just go back down to NXT?"
He did. Him, Alistair Black, and I think Finn Balor 2 years ago asked if they could go back down to NXT. They all got rejected except from Finn Balor. He was a maybe. The rest got rejected.
And that no, like, see, I make this joke like Triple H is basically like he has like his favorite four sons are Adam Cole, Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. And when Finn Balor's like, "Hey, can I go back to NXT?" and Triple
I
H is like,
mean,
"Come here, son."
Kevin Owens is one of them.
Yeah, he is one of them, but Finn Balor is his all-time favorite son. Well, let's be real here.
No.
Triple H is like, "Come here, son. You can come back. Here's your here's your golden sledgehammer."
He deserves it. Finn Balor is a fucking talented wrestler. He's
Yeah,
good
he
on the
is.
mic. He's a fucking sick heel. And the stuff he's going to be doing with Karrion Kross will be nothing but exceptional.
Absolutely. Nicholas is any thoughts on the Jim Cornette podcast?
I don't care.
I like Jim. I especially love his rants on Vince Russo. They're usually pretty funny. Everything else, like Jim, kind of is like in that old school mentality where, he's like, "Oh, I don't like that." Like I can understand. Like I can understand certain things, like the kicking out of finishers. That's kind of like why
Pointless.
it is pointless. Like unless it's like a really big match, then it's fine. But just kicking out of finishers in every match is dumb.
I don't feel like it makes sense if you kick out a Roman Reigns spear because it looks like it hurts.
Yeah.
And you won't kick out after 2 seconds. You wouldn't get your body to pull your shoulder up over this 265-pound behemoth. Like it just don't make sense.
The only times like I can absolutely understand like kicking out of finishers is when if you get hit with a finisher and then like they wait like maybe 10-20 seconds before actually making the cover.
Or maybe like what is it? If you go for a finisher, you kick out, they go for another one, at least at finish where the other person does finish it to the person who did the finish before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense. But when you just kick out of it mid-match and you don't lead on with it, and it's just you doing wrestling holds after that, it just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. I don't listen to podcasts, but
I mean, I listen to them here and there, but back to the Aleister Black Andrade thing. It's just, you know what's funny is like Andrade's like engaged to Charlotte, who is considered to be like one of the main acts, and like he's not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's what's really funny to me, but I get it, and honestly, if I was Vince, I'd be like, well, they're gonna have to do budget cuts very soon.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure like Andrade, Aleister Black are going to be on the top of the chopping block.
Yeah.
Because why are they going to keep them there if they're going to do nothing with them?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate too, because Aleister Black, especially, like, at the beginning of last year, like Aleister got a huge win over AJ Styles and he got a huge WrestleMania win, but then after Money in the Bank, he literally did nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look now to see when his fee actually expires.
It would have to expire soon.
Yeah, I'm searching it up. Andrade. Fuck off. Search results. Hurry up.
But it's ridiculous. It's just like I understand. Like, okay, Vince is like, yeah, look, we're trying to focus on other talent and stuff, but
3 years he has left on his contract.
in 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. I'd be like, no, I want out.
Yeah.
Because here's what Andrade should have done. He should have been like, well, here's what we're gonna do. Either you're gonna do something with me, or you're gonna bring me back down to NXT, or I'm gone.
Yeah. They should have brought him back to NXT and have him face Finn Balor. I mean, that'd be a good match.
Yeah, like that's all. Like, but again, and I kind of also blame the fact that Selena Vega got fired as well because
Yeah. But it's not her fault. It's via association at that point.
yeah.
Well,
And even Angel Garza's not even on TV anymore.
Yeah, that's just because Paul Heyman's on SmackDown now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like, the guys like Aleister Black, Andrade, Angel Garza, Austin Theory, they were all the people that Paul Heyman wanted to push. But when he left Raw, where did they all go? Austin Theory is with Johnny Gargano. Angel Garza is at home shining women. Andrade has his dick in his hand, doing nothing, wishing he was fighting John Moxley.
Aleister Black is just flat out dead.
And Aleister Black has flatlined 6 years ago.
Aleister Black disappeared and just has been not been seen since.
I feel bad for Aleister Black.
Yeah.
He had a good WrestleMania moment at Money in the Bank. He got thrown off the roof. He turned heel. Carol was basically burying him, and after that, we didn't see him on TV. So, yeah.
Career's dead. His career flatlined. If we're still looking for him, he went missing.
If you could please help us, we're trying to find Aleister Black. He disappeared since he got buried by Kevin Owens.
Like next thing you know, we're gonna have to put his face on a milk carton and be like, "Has anyone seen this man?"
Please call his number. 070. I don't care.
Oh, wait a minute. I have a theory. No. Actually, Kevin Owens actually buried Aleister Black before this because Aleister Black is actually married to Selena Vega.
Yeah, that's another reason why he's not on TV at the moment.
Like, damn, you gotta do my boy Aleister Black. Like, he did nothing wrong. Like, this man just like standing there.
I want to see Aleister Black Mass, The Miz, Randy Orton. I mean, that'd be cool. Just The Miz pissing you off. You just turn the lights off, turn them back on. Miz turns around. You just see Aleister Black's big fucking boot in his face. How cool would that be?
That'd be amazing, but they're never gonna do it because he's just missing.
No, they're never going to do it because they lack creatively. I mean, granted, they do well Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley because they're easy to work with. Like, very easy because they're both company men. I mean, Roman Reigns pretty much is Vince McMahon's ass. But Aleister Black is someone who you could use for so many things. You could use him like The Undertaker, where he's a supernatural god. You could use him like anything. Like, you could make him a biker. He's still fucking sick because of all tattoos. I mean, same with Andrade. You could make him a lot of things and just they make him a fucking joke. Oh,
It's just, you know,
me sad.
yeah, it's a big L for everybody. Yeah. And that brings us, and speaking of big L's, our last topic for today is kind of a funny one because we need something interesting after that depressing talk. The exploding ring from AEW Revolution.
I've seen what these things could actually be like. That wasn't it.
No, like that wasn't even close.
That looked like a very cheap film, like trying to make an explosion.
Yeah.
Like, you have like 20 grand, use it wisely. You spend it on fucking fireworks, and you call them explosives. That's pretty much the exploding ring for you.
And from what I heard, like the match itself was actually really good, but then
Oh,
once
the match
that
is
happened,
fucking amazing. Yeah.
but it's more than likely gonna be just remembered for that moment.
Obviously. I mean, it's not any of theirs fault, it's just the fucking pyro crew. Fucking messed it up.
And I know that they're trying to turn it into a storyline, but the fact that Eddie Edwards just like sat there and sold it like he was unconscious, like
Yeah.
how can you do that? That's just not make no sense.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
yeah. Now John Moxley's been moved to the tag division, and in comes return of Christian Cage. I'm guessing he's going to be facing Kenny Omega.
Hey, that'll be a sick match.
Yeah. Like, this will finally prove to Vince the stuff that Christian can actually do.
Yeah.
Like, Christian's one last match rivalry with Randy Orton. Probably the second best rivalry of the 2010s for me. Just memorable, sick matches, especially the one at SummerSlam.
Yeah, the
Fucking
matches
massive.
themselves are good, but the problem is like they turn Christian into a little bitch.
Yeah, that was the problem. It was getting a bit whiny, but the matches themselves were just fucking. Oh.
Like I remember watching their match from Over the Limit. I'm like, man, this match is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I kind of sucks that because technically Randy Orton is kind of underrated and in a sense by like just wrestling fans because when he puts on a really good match, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Randy Orton versus John Cena, I'm sure one of them were good. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 31. Randy Orton versus Undertaker, SummerSlam. Randy Orton versus Triple H. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Randy Orton versus Edge. Like, Randy Orton versus the guy from next door. Like, Randy Orton is a good wrestler. It's just he's old-fashioned with his style.
Like, I don't get me wrong, like I actually do still appreciate his style because it's one of those like things where it's kind of refreshing in a way because you see like all like these high flying moves and like
Yeah,
fast pace. Like it's always nice to have like a slower paced like wrestling match, which with
yeah,
holds like
like
that's always refreshing.
yeah. And the thing is with Randy, he looks maniacal whilst doing it as well. Like his little holds, just the face expressions he pulls, just makes him look like a cunt. And obviously, he's a very slow wrestler, which makes it a bit interesting as well because he does stuff like he can also be very explosive at times as well, Randy, like with the superplex or the RKO, shit like that. Just bang.
And the RKO is the best finisher of all time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would say it's the best finisher in the sense of like it's out of nowhere.
It's definitely the one that is the most creative.
Yeah.
Like it whilst it's a meme, and trust me, some of the memes that you get out of it are fucking brilliant. The move itself could actually be creatively used as a storyline, as it was with Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins and Extreme Rules. I mean, I don't think there's been any other finisher that has been used as a storyline, like to that extent, which just shows how good the RKO is. And obviously, it can be out of nowhere, shooting star press, RKO, curb stomp, RKO, frog splash, RKO onto some steps. Well, that's just how it is.
Makes sense. So I think we are basically close to done. We usually do like a tier list at the end. So how about I actually would like to do one in this and kind of celebration of the just NXT and all that stuff. We should do an NXT tier list.
Ooh.
What do you mean by NXT tier list? Do you mean the superstars, the matches, the shows?
Which one do you guys want to do?
I don't mind doing superstars.
All right. Let's see here. Then we'll do NXT roster. Or you know what? We could do best. Well, actually, no. That list is not that great. NXT superstars. No, that list still sucks.
Just like Vince McMahon bucket. Ha! I'm a genius.
Got him.
I'm a genius. I'm gonna have 4 people from Raw go SmackDown. 4 people from SmackDown go to Raw. I'll put the wild card rule. I'm a genius.
Oh gosh, the wild card rule.
Such a genius, Vince. How do you come up with these creative things?
Yes.
What sort of stuff do you have? I bet he was sniffing hand sanitizer while speaking about it.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, how about we do NXT TakeOver main events?
You know what? Good idea.
You know what? That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, because there's been a lot of good main events. I mean, the most recent one that comes to mind is Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne.
Ooh, that match was fantastic.
My favorite one is Tommaso Ciampa put Jimmy Garoppolo in a 9-match match for the NXT champion. That's my favorite one.
Yeah. My favorite one depends, because I don't know if it actually was the main event or not, but we'll see here.
Let's see. This is just a random one I pulled up. The first one we have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for the NXT title at NXT TakeOver Rival.
I don't remember the one. I don't remember too much about the one.
I would give it maybe. It's a high C to a low B for me. It's not that memorable. The moves weren't that great.
I put in a C. I mean, it's a decent match. It's just I think the match is more so about just Kevin Owens beating the shit out of Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next match we have the NXT War Games match, Undisputed Era versus the War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good match.
Yeah. Ricochet looked fucking sick in that match.
He did.
Everyone looked good, but Ricochet stood out for me in that one, and so did Kyle O'Reilly as well.
And Ricochet did that double freaking moonsault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was sick.
I think the best Ricochet moment I can remember from NXT is where he did a front flip over top rope and just landed right in front of LT Dream.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next match, Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT TakeOver San Antonio.
B for me personally.
Yeah, I put it a B.
Yeah, it was solid. Not a bad. It was good, but definitely not the best.
It served its purpose.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia.
This is a fucking banger. I'd say S.
I would go with S.
That was a great match.
Yeah. And also stuff that happened after the match with Ciampa attacking Gargano as well.
With the crutch.
Yeah.
He was like fuck you, bitch.
That whole thing was fucking amazing. S.
All right. Oh, it was. Oh, it was so good.
I might watch after this.
AOP versus DIY in the ladder match.
Oh, this is when Ciampa turned, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I put an A for that moment.
I would put it at B because without that moment, it would have just been there for me. So you decide us later.
I might put it in A because I think the match was really good, and that turn just gets it a point up for me.
All right, I'm not fully opposed to it.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see which one is. All right, so the NXT Championship Steel Cage match between Samoa Joe and Finn Balor.
I know it was a good match.
It's a high B, low A for me.
I would put it B.
Yeah, it was a decent match. It served its purpose.
Yeah.
Ciampa versus Gargano, last man standing.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fire.
This is my favorite takeover main event.
Yeah.
These two go to war. I'll see if this was actually a main event because I weren't sure. But no, it's top. Mm-hmm. I'd put it over Andrade versus Gargano.
Yeah, did the best matches they ever did.
Yep.
All right. Interesting, because actually I have a different opinion on that, but we'll get into that when we get into that. Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa at NXT TakeOver Portland.
A
for me. Well, I enjoy that match.
Yeah. Anything personally that Tommaso Ciampa does is brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. Ciampa is the man.
Yeah.
NXT TakeOver. I believe that's NXT TakeOver 25. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole.
They for the vacate NXT championship.
No, this was the one where Johnny Gargano was the champion and Adam Cole beat him for it.
I'll give this a B.
I would put it A.
That's tough. I think
like the second match was a lot better. That's why I put that B. But if the second match didn't exist, I'd put it at
A. Yeah.
Choices.
Because I don't think I would say it's a low A for me.
All right.
Because it's definitely better than these two matches.
Yeah. It's a very high B, just a very low A.
I agree on that. NXT TakeOver Toronto, Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, 2 out of 3 stages of hell.
Yeah, I think this is S for me personally. Just these two put on a clinic. I know, brilliant.
That I would put it at A.
Do I? Again, that's tough. I might have to put this at A, to be honest with you. Because I don't think it's as good as Ciampa, Gargano, or Gargano Andrade. I would even say it's actually I wouldn't say it's the weakest of the 3 matches, but it's definitely good, but it's not as good as those 2 matches on the S tier.
All
right. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver Unstoppable.
I don't remember too much about that match.
B for me personally. It was a good match with some good stuff, but nothing too out there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Next up, Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens in the ladder match.
A.
A for me.
Yeah, it just gets an A.
Yeah.
Finn Balor. Sorry, hang on. What were you gonna say, Shadow?
Them two just work in a ring together. Finn Balor and Kevin Owens.
Absolutely. Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe at NXT TakeOver Dallas.
Oh, I don't remember this one, honestly.
I believe this is the one where Finn Balor came out as the Texas Chainsaw Demon and Joe got busted open, and it's.
I do remember this one. I'm thinking of a different one. I'll give this a A. honestly.
Yeah, I'd give it an A. Next, we have the unsanctioned match at NXT TakeOver New Orleans: Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
S.
Yeah, that's S.
Yeah, that is every Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano match going to S for me.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, I think the unsanctioned match was definitely the best one out of the matches that they had.
Okay.
Next up, Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black at NXT TakeOver Phoenix.
A.
I would put it at A. I will.
Yeah, it was a good match. Let's see here. The triple threat women's match at NXT TakeOver in your house: Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai.
C.
B.
C?
Yeah.
I would put it at B.
The only thing I remember is Io Shirai jumping off the top of the thingy.
It wasn't really that good of a takeover, so that probably also kind of docks it points too. Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in the Chicago Street Fight.
S.
S.
Yeah, it's S. I love how every match on the S tier so far is just Johnny Gargano.
He puts on good matches, even though he loses in most of them.
He loses 90% of the time, but he always puts on a great performance.
Yeah. Exactly.
Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, 2 out of 3 falls match at NXT TakeOver New York.
Oh, so this is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Then
yeah,
this is a A.
That,
very high A for me.
That is for me.
Yeah, I gotta put in an S. Just the story that was being told to me brings it over the top.
The story of it, it's just I just don't really think it compares to the other matches that are in the S tier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh shit! Actually, you may be right on that.
The story is amazing, but the match itself, if you just look at the match itself, which I've been looking at it, it doesn't compare to them. So it's just a high A for me. But it could be an S depending on if I actually thought about the storyline with it.
What's up, LDG? Great to see you. Now that you have me thinking, should I?
It's up to you. It's your tier list. I've just popped out the opinions.
You know what? Actually,
just put it at the very end of A, so it's the top of A.
You know, I'll do that. Because I think you do make a good point that the match is not as good as what we got in the S tier. Let's see here. NXT TakeOver, the first NXT TakeOver War Games between Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong, AOP, and Sanity.
I'd give this an A.
That is for me.
I'll agree. I'll give it an A. It's definitely it's a good War Games match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, a bunch of weapons, bunch of crazy shit.
I'm glad they brought the War Games back for NXT. It really belongs there.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I'd like to see one where it's Team Cole versus Team O'Reilly for this one.
Oh, that would actually be sick.
Yeah.
Maybe have O'Reilly, Balor, Strong, and somebody else.
Yeah, and then you'd have Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Pete Dunne, and someone else.
That would be dope.
And Karrion Kross.
Ooh, Karrion Kross would be a good one.
Yeah. Just the thought of Karrion Kross bashing someone over the back with a steel chair frightens me.
Karrion Kross is just scary.
Yeah. I just feel like Karrion Kross wouldn't be as good if it weren't for Scarlett and her presence there.
Yeah, Scarlett definitely brings him out as the total package.
Yeah. She's used to saying his package, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Man, she's hot too.
Yeah.
Next, we have the NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way main event between Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, Tyson Kidd, and Tyler Breeze.
C.
I would be honest. I would put an S because they were the first takeover main event I ever watched. So it got a special heart in my chest. So I would put an S for me. I will.
We got S and a C. You know what? I'm going to put it at B.
Mm-hmm.
It was good, I would say. That's really all I have to say about it. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe at NXT TakeOver Toronto. Was it Toronto or was it just NXT?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was
It's
NXT TakeOver Toronto.
Yeah, it's got the Canadian flag at back. This one, I think this was the worst one out of the two. I feel like the one in NXT TakeOver Brooklyn was way better.
It was.
So I'd give this a high B.
I don't remember too much about the match. So
I know Samoa Joe would, I think.
Do you want a high B like over Rude and Nakamura, or do you think?
No, I'd have him under Rude and Nakamura personally.
All right. Bailey versus Sasha Banks in the 30-minute Iron Man match.
S.
S.
I mean, there was no other way. There was no other place to put it other than
Yeah.
S.
That is the second best takeover match ever, in my opinion, anyways. First one is Ciampa versus Gargano.
Neville versus Tyson Kidd at the first NXT TakeOver.
C.
Yeah, C.
I put a C as well.
Have you noticed a trend that the earlier takeovers were a lot worse than the newer ones?
Yeah, like I actually watched NXT Arrival like a few months ago, and I'm like, man, this show is kind of bad.
Yeah.
The only good match that I found was like Cesaro versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah. Cesaro should go back to NXT. That would be a good one.
Oh yeah,
Cesaro versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Ooh man, that don't get me excited now.
I mean, I got you excited over Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns, so.
Well, I mean, I'm more excited. Look, if you can get me really excited, Brock Lesnar versus the Tribal Chief would be like, oh my god, that'd be an orgasmic match.
Yeah, just have Paul Heyman in the love triangle.
Yes, it's like a sitcom drama between Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. The winner gets Paul Heyman.
Yeah. Ooh, this one. Okay.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bobby Roode at NXT TakeOver Orlando.
A.
No, I would put that B for me.
I would go with A. I think it was definitely a good. I would say it's better than the match in to San Antonio.
Yeah. Definitely.
Neville versus Zayn at R Evolution.
Then when Sami Zayn won the NXT Championship and Kevin overturned heel.
Yeah.
I'll give this B personally.
Yeah, it'll be for me.
All right. Next we got Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2.
S.
Oh, I don't remember too much about that match.
S for me is so good.
Yeah, I put it in S. It was a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre at Brooklyn 3.
The only thing I remember about that is when
Adam Cole.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember about that.
Yeah. I would give this an A. Very high A. Just below Cole versus Gargano for me.
Undisputed Era versus Team Ciampa War Games.
S. This is the best War Games match. Because I think Kevin Owens was in this one now.
Yeah, Kevin Owens made his he made his return to NXT for one night only.
Yeah.
to kick the shit out of the Undisputed Era, which was great.
Imagine Kevin Owens versus Adam Cole.
Oh, that match was amazing.
I want Kevin Owens to go back to NXT now. I mean, he's doing good stuff with SmackDown, but
And last on the list, Balor versus Joe at NXT TakeOver London.
Oh, there's an NXT TakeOver in London. Okay. I'd give this a very low A.
I'll be putting it at B.
I put it at A just because I think that was also just really good. But I love how none of the NXT TakeOver main events got a D.
Yeah, none of them were that bad. I mean, I was thinking about putting the women's one in D, but
that match also really wasn't that bad.
Yeah. The only reason I didn't put it at D is because when Io Shirai jumped off the thing.
Yeah.
So, if that didn't happen, it would be a D for me.
But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's your NXT TakeOver main event tier list.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the question is now, sorry to interrupt, but which one of the S tiers is your favorite?
Ooh, that's tough. It's either got to be the Andrade Cien Almas versus Gargano match or the unsanctioned match between Ciampa and Gargano.
I've got to agree with that. I'd say Ciampa versus Andrade just pips it because Philadelphia was so into the match. Like, the crowd was near Rock versus Hogan levels. Just everyone wanted Ciampa, Gargano to win. Just like you could feel the energy of that night. Whilst Ciampa and Gargano had that, it's just I feel like that one was more special.
Yeah, but the reason why I'll say Gargano champ is because I think the story was absolutely perfect.
The storyline with Gargano versus Ciampa is the best one in NXT history.
I think for like our next good old wrestling, I think we need to talk. I think we're gonna obviously do the Fastlane review, but I do want to like talk a little bit more in depth about the Ciampa Gargano feud because there's so much to really unpack and there's so much to actually talk about and why it's so special because it's a storyline that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens should have been.
Yeah, like Ciampa getting woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning by Gargano just knocking at his door. I mean, that's one thing. Like, just the obsession over each other is just, and the hatred, you can actually feel it. Whilst Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I don't know if I speak for you guys, but it just felt like a bit forced.
Yeah.
And just a bit pushed, which it shouldn't have been.
Shit, now I'm in the mood to watch all those Gargano Ciampa matches.
You know where you can't watch them? Soon on the WWE Network.
Haha. Or you can watch them on Peacock.
Yeah. Or you can just watch them on the WWE YouTube channel. I'm sure they've uploaded 4 matches there.
Oh, they probably have. But with that being said, though, guys, this was a hell of an episode. Shadowhunter, man, thank you for coming on. You were awesome today.
Well, thank you for having me.
If you want, you can come on next episode.
You know what? I might just take you up on that offer.
Because you were absolutely great, and we were actually able to have this is probably the longest good old wrestling that we've had in a while. So I mean, man, I can't, and I also can't wait to talk Ciampa Gargano because that's going to be a hell of a stream. And I can't wait to rip apart Fastlane if it's bad, which it probably will be.
Yeah.
So
to be fair, the other match we'll probably rip apart is Reigns versus Bryan.
Yeah, that's the only match we'll leave alone. Everything else will just trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank LDG, Nicholas, Kavari, Kevin, and Oliver Queen, the Arrow, coming in. You guys are awesome. You guys definitely make it, worth just doing this every week.
Exactly.
But with that being said, I'm going to let everybody go around the panel, tell everybody where they can find themselves at. We'll start off with Deshaun. Where can they find you at?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, Deshaun Wigger, aka The Messiah. Yes, I brought the name back. And also tonight, I will be doing a watch party of the Messiah movie, a Judah and the Black Messiah, tonight at 12 o'clock. So I hope y'all come in and watch the movie with me. Or you could just watch me just stand and look at the movie to get my opinion. But besides that, you could find me on my Instagram, Twitter, and the Discord server. Please subscribe to my channel. I got 91 subscribers already. I try to get to 100. So today, make sure you hit the like button other than like, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Very, very nice. Shadow Hunter, where can they find you at?
Well, you can. When I'm not trying to lurk at shadows, you can find my YouTube channel at Shadow Hunter, where I could talk random stuff about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, wrestling, boxing, films, just anything that I feel fancy on all my hobbies. We've got tomorrow night. We've got a very big event with Oscillator. Actually, the draft, which I'm excited for. It's going to be a very good one. It'll be a 2-night thing. Both nights will consist of 5 big matches that will decide the fate of both Raw and SmackDown. We've got the chase going on. We're hoping to get another episode out late March, early April. And also you can find me on Twitter at Shadowhunt419, where I can tweet something about the president or the prime minister, and then something about Boris Johnson getting a blowjob from a pig. But yeah, that's me. That's who I am. If you like it, go check me out.
Very interesting. Very well said. I'm not going to go really too far into what I'm... Basically, I put everybody's links in the description. You can find me on everybody's channels. You can find me tomorrow night on Shadowhunter's channel for the draft 2-night event. That's going to be a hell of an event. Go check that out. I do one-night tournaments here on the channel. Do Shadow Eye, Splash Talk, good old Wrasslin, live discussions. I do basically everything over here. You can find me on Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica's backstage, LDG's backstage. You can find me on the Real Review 3000, Chris Knight's channel for the weekly wrap-up, JJ, aka Sith Lord 3827's channel for randomness at its finest. Occasionally, you can find me on 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. You can find me sometimes on Big Ford Entertainment, Anzo's channel, and just subscribe to everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for watching. This is the Osnator, Shadowhunter, and Deshaun signing out. See you later, guys.
Deuces.